Now, with this Raqqa assault, the idea, I understand, then, is to maximise pressure on the Islamic State group when it's already under attack in Mosul.
Yes, that's correct. That's the primary objective. And there's also a pincer movement effect, whereby the attack on Mosul will be causing a number of IS fighters to flee that area and flee towards Syria. So if a simultaneous attack is mounted on Raqqa, that'll really get IS into a sort of stranglehold. That's the logic.
Now, one of the key differences is that, of course, in Syria, there's no government involvement. What else can you tell us about how the two operations compare?
Well, yes, in many ways, the Raqqa operation is much more complicated for all sorts of reasons. The primary reason being, as you've just described, that there's no sympathetic government behind it. In Iraq, the US and other authorities are working with the Iraqi army and the Iraqi government. In Syria, that's not the case at all. The other huge complication is that the primary force fighting against IS in Syria, in Raqqa, is a largely Kurdish-backed militia force. And the Turks, in particular, are very unhappy about that because they are opposed to this Kurdish force and opposed to it gaining power. So this makes the fragile coalition that's working together on this operation much more complicated.
Our attacks on foreign soil were organised from Raqqa. Does that mean then that the operation there is more of a priority for countries like France?
Potentially, yes. I mean, the overall effect of operations in a number of places against IS will generally bog them down. They'll be primarily concentrating on surviving and trying to repel these attacks and won't really have much time and resource left to plan major attacks in the West. But yes, for France in particular, given the last couple of years and the sorts of attacks that have happened there, the Raqqa operation is very important to them.
Which one would you say, do you think would weaken the Islamic State group the most if they were defeated?
I mean, both Mosul and Raqqa are extremely important, both symbolically and logistically for Islamic State. Raqqa, the fall of Raqqa would be a real blow. This is the nominal headquarters, the nominal capital of Islamic State. If Raqqa falls to other forces, to coalition forces, then this will really, certainly in the medium term, spell the end of any ideas of a caliphate or anything of that nature for Islamic State. So this would be a very big and very damaging prize. But we shouldn't underestimate the importance of Mosul as well. And the two together could really strike a hammer blow against Islamic State.